Hello students, myself Vishal Pandey, and today we are going to start a new chapter from your Beehive book, The Sound of Music. As it has been written by an author who is very prominent, and her name is Deborah Cowley, as you can see on your screen. The writer Deborah Cowley is a freelance writer and broadcaster. She grew up in Toronto and graduated from the University of Western Ontario and moved to Ottawa. Ottawa is capital of Canada to work for the Unitarian Service Committee. So she was established and an eminent author from uh, Canada, and she was well aware that how to introduce the protagonist of this story, which we will be discussing in the next slide. So this story is very helpful and interesting as well. As you can see on the screen, the introduction of the protagonist, birth name Evelyn Elizabeth and Glennie, born on 19th of July in 1965 in Scotland basically. If you talk about her occupation, she was a percussionist. What is percussionist? I will be telling you later on in the story, because the story will revolves around this profession. So achievements that she owns over 2000 percussion instrument all over the world. She was an established percussionist. So we will be discussing about her stories and all. As you can see, achievements that Evelyn Glennie is the first person in history to successfully create and sustain a full-time career as a solo percussionist. She was performing as a solo. Solo means all alone without taking anybody's help. Performing worldwide with the greatest orchestras, conductors, and artists. So she was using her talent in terms of performing, and she was fascinating all the views, attraction of the people throughout the globe. Evelyn paved the way for orchestras globally to feature percussion's concerto when she played the first percussion concerto in the history of the proms and the Royal Albert Hall in 1992. She was all cynosure. She was center of attraction when she played for the first time her percussions and all. If you talk about her leading 1000 drummers, Evelyn had the honor of a prominent role in the opening ceremony of the London 2012 Olympic Games. So she is very, energetic, and being deaf, I will be telling you about her past, her story, but right now we are discussing about her present scenario, present circumstances, that what she is and what she has achieved in her life. She has already played the percussions and drums in London Olympic, which was held in 2012 itself. Evelyn was awarded an OBE in 1993 and now has over 100 international awards. So she is honored, and she has made a record in taking of rewards and awards as well. So this will be very interesting, students. Part 1, if you talk about Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. Now from here the story begins, that the title itself is very interesting. What is the title of the story? That Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. How can a woman, or how can a girl listen a sound without hearing it? So this is all about this story is which is has an emphasis on the story. So Evelyn Glennie listens to the sound without hearing it. How and how it is possible? Let us discuss with the opening lines of the story. God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. If you talk about that, someone has commented this about Evelyn. He says that although God took away her hearing power, she was impaired, but he gave her an extraordinary thing, and that was the sense of feeling. As we all know that she was a deaf, but although she was a deaf, she has an extra power, extraordinary power to understand, to hear the feelings of the atmosphere. She could feel very deeply, far more deeply than the normal people. As you can understand by this statement, that what you understand, what I can understand, she was getting more than that, although she was deaf. And that is why she was able to express music so beautifully, so well. So this was the reason, because she can inculcate her feelings in the atmosphere and adapt that music which we cannot. So this was the view. Let's learn some words meaning which will help you a lot. If you talk about jostle, jostle, push roughly. If you are been pushed by someone, that is called jostle. Slight, small and thin. Daunting means frightening. Aspiring musician means a person who wants to be a musician. So she was an aspiring musician. Whom am I talking about? Evelyn Glennie. Profoundly, extremely. Deteriorated, becoming progressively worse, means deterioration means decreasing. Impaired, weakened. Xylophone, a musical instrument with a row of wooden bars of different lengths. I will be showing you xylophone in the next upcoming slides, so you need not to be very much aware. Just be cool, calm and composed, and remember one thing which will help you a lot to understand this story, that our protagonist, who is Evelyn Glennie, she is, I told you that she is a music lover and aspiring musician she is. So she is also called a percussionist. I will be telling you in detail, showing you the photographs of different xylophones and different modes of music, because words are also important. So you have to understand the word meaning as well. Whenever you will read the story, you will be getting these words, so you have to be clear and aware at the same time. Let us see the next slide. Percussionist. Now this is the word which was coming from the beginning. Percussionist, a person who plays the drum, the tabla, etc and etc. Now you can understand who is percussionist. Percussionist is a person, is a woman who plays the drum, the tabla. In short, who is a musician can be called a percussionist. What is the meaning of potential? Quality or ability. Intriguing, fascinating and curious. Flawlessly, faultlessly, without making a fault. Lilt, a way of speaking. Lilt means a way of speaking, how you speak. Tingles, causes a slight pricking or stinging sensation. And resonances, echoes of sound. Resonances means echoes of sound. How means different types of sounds, if merged together, then a resonances appears or came, existence takes place. So this was the percussionist. Potential, intriguing, flawlessly, lilt, tingles, resonances. So I hope you all are getting my points, and according to these words you have to perform, you have to understand the story, because she is being deaf. She got an acknowledgement. She stands for Evelyn Glennie, and she got an acknowledgement throughout the globe, throughout the world, and she is famous as well. Now this story is a biography of Evelyn Glennie. In the next presentation I will be telling you story what was the reality from the beginning. Okay, till then watch this. Thank you very much.